what's up, everybody? Bro Trio here, and we are finally doing our powwow talking about Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. This game came out in May, and then that month went away, and then June went away, and then half of July went away. But we are finally here and ready to talk about it. We have put so much time into this game. We're going to talk about it slightly, and then spoiler warning. So if you haven't played it and don't want any spoilers, get the hell out after that. But just to put it into perspective for you, we got this game at launch at midnight, and I, myself, put in 155 hours into this. Scotty did 170 hours. And
I'm
Aaron
also 170.
is also 170 hours.
I feel like I don't want to play it again because I have 170 hours in both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. But the funny thing is, Breath of the Wild, I did everything except for Gleeoks. I did not do that in Tears of the Kingdom. And I still have a lot more. I did not do probably even half of the shrines. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I have a good bit.
Good God, it's so big.
Tears of the Kingdom is absolutely massive. It more or less improves upon everything Breath of the Wild did, but better in almost every way. And honestly, that's about it for you. So everything else is going to be spoiler full after this. So, if you haven't left by now, it's too damn late, because we are going to spoil the hell out of Tears of the Kingdom. Now,
one quick one before that. What is with this modern thing? What? They did it with God of War Ragnarok. They did it with Tears of the Kingdom, where they're like, it just looks like $60 DLC. Like,
yeah, I don't
get what that means. Do you not want a sequel to play the same as... Like, why would you want a sequel to play drastically different?
Horizon Forbidden West, too.
When
everybody's just like, yeah, it just looks like Horizon Zero Dawn, but, like, slightly different. I was like, yeah, that's what a goddamn sequel is, you moron.
It's one thing if you're 10 sequels in to change it up, like God of War was, or Zelda has done, like, 3 times at this point. But it's a direct sequel to a game. Of course, it's going to play pretty similarly. Like, yeah, people get sick of that, and then they change it up later, but what the fuck?
Yeah,
like, they just changed it up 1 game ago. Yeah, it's not time yet. Anyway, you.
So,
just if you think that way, not you in general.
While we're on it, in this feeling of negativity, we're gonna get into the negatives first, and then end things with a positive. That's how the Bro Trio does it for powwows. And believe it or not, there are some slight negatives in Tears of the Kingdom.
They wrote down more than I did. I've got nitpicks.
That's it. Most of them are nitpicks.
A lot,
to be honest. They're just like, some are like big nitpicks, but not quite like problems. Nothing like game like breaking.
It
or
would still
anything.
like if you rated it a 10, this nitpick doesn't bring it down from a 10. Like,
right.
It would be to me.
So, number 1. This was the weirdest one. It's not necessarily negative. It's just so weird that they don't even mention anything from Breath of the Wild in there.
Barely at all.
Barely get mention of the champions. The divine beasts have vanished, and we don't really find out why. I assume
they were melted down for parts, but they don't tell us.
Like, where are they?
And, like, there's barely a mention of the Sheikah. You find a few, because you still talk to, like, Impa and stuff.
Yeah, and, like, there's no Sheikah Tech, no Guardians, no...
The only Sheikah Tech are you find the tips of the ancient bows in the game.
You find those. Everything else, Purah's just like, I recreated all the Sheikah stuff.
Yeah.
It's orange now. But...
yeah, so that's the first one. It's just so odd going from Breath of the Wild to a direct sequel, not even that far off in the future, and they're just gone. Like,
yeah, it's odd. I don't understand it. They don't even try to make me understand it.
Yeah. The next nitpick would be, this one was annoying because I didn't even want to use them that much because of Zonai devices and stuff, but anytime I found a special horse, I couldn't use it to the full extent of horses in Tears of the Kingdom. Because Tears of the Kingdom added new stuff for horses. Like, they can tow stuff now.
But they did the same damn thing as Breath of the Wild. And they were like, oh, you got Epona? We can't customize Epona, which is fine for Breath of the Wild. Same with the big horse. But you got a towing harness, and you give me the best horse in the game with Epona. And I cannot tow with Epona.
Not to mention, big horse.
The big horse should be the best at towing.
Big horse can't tow? Like, come on.
That's lame. I didn't know that.
But also, if you can build a motorcycle, do I even need a horse?
Right.
I mean, maybe the motorcycle can't.
Like I said, I didn't want to use them that often, but when I did, I wanted to use Epona because I got to import my horses from the previous game, which was a really cool feature.
When I
that was super cool.
You couldn't do it with really the best horses, and
that's why Zelda's Golden Horse is the best one because it's got the gentle temperament like Epona, so it's not all being a dick the whole time like all the other horses. Yeah. And it's glorious Golden Horse, and it can tow, and you can upgrade it to be just as good as Epona. So Epona, go to hell. There's a new girl in town. And her name is Goldie. I don't remember what I named it.
Oh my god.
Honestly, I think mine was similar. I don't remember either.
I think I named it like the Latin word for gold or some shit. But I don't remember.
I think I named mine Slipnir, like after Odin's horse.
That was the big boy from Breath of the Wild that I named that. And I named the other one Thrude.
So the next nitpick, which this is kind of a nitpick we had with Breath of the Wild anyways, but the shrines just weren't that alluring to like go to. Like, there were a lot of really cool shrines, like once you got in them, but I just knew like all shrines are just heart pieces, so I wasn't like, I gotta go do this. I was like, no, I'm gonna keep hunting down these bokoblins and stuff like that and ruin their camp. And then my shrine sensor's going off, and I was like, I need the hearts, but I'd rather just keep doing this.
Oh, I set my shrine sensor to bubble frogs, like, immediately. Because I was like, I don't want these shrines, I want bubble frogs. Gotta get a bunch of crystals for that weird pervert.
The next big disappointment to me, this one is probably one of the only real negatives I have, but they're hyping it up as a quest. Talking about, I saw a legendary beast in the forest of the Faron Woods. And then there's like, was it a legendary beast or a legendary weapon? And then I'm sitting there just like, oh, well, you get the horns from the monsters. Yeah. So it's going to be both. And I'm going to get to have a cool fight and a cool weapon. And then I can restock every blood moon. It's going to be awesome. Then you get there, and they're just like, yeah, we discovered these new cow bull type things that eat eat luminous stones and shit out diamonds. Then like, it sounds awesome.
The only cool thing about them is that's what Zelda was writing, and that was their pack mule thing in the trailer when they first announced Tears of the Kingdom, like way back in 2018 or whatever.
But that's the other thing.
That's the only thing.
You can't ride them, so
like if you got one as a mount after that quest, or like if you were hurting them and then a Gleeok stormed down and then you had to fight the Gleeok and then you got the legendary like horn for the weapons and stuff, like that would help it out a lot.
Look, back to mounts a little bit. Why can't I register a style horse and a bear?
Right.
They're not even that good. Just let me do it.
Yeah,
I just want to call a bear to ride, or like a deer.
There needs to be a style stable keeper in the depths that lets you register a style horse.
That could have been the third Kilton brother.
Yeah.
He was like, hey, if you got any weird horses that normal horse keepers don't want, I'm a third weird pervert in this family, and I'm into weird horses and shit. Bring me weird horses and I'll let you ride a bear and a skeleton. But no, nothing. Bupkis. But also, if I could build a jet, do I even need a bear?
Yes.
Answer is yes, but also it's a jet.
Also, if you could fuse to your mounts, that would be cool, but that's getting
you could make horse armor.
Yeah. So, the next nitpick, that Scotty doesn't really have big issue with this. Me and Aaron did, because obviously, it's Tears of the Kingdom. You have massive amounts of freedom. Everybody plays it different. All three of us played it insanely differently. But me and Aaron shared one commonality there, where like we each did like the temples like relatively back to back to back. In doing so, if you sparse them out, like it's not that bad. But if you do them back to back, the dialogue of all the new champions like finding out about their ancestors and the secret stones, it's verbatim and it's so annoying. Every single one of them says it with the exact same inflection to the point where, like, Nintendo was sitting there and just like, look here, you say it like this and like this only. You can't say it any way else. You have to say it like this. And every single one is just like, Demon King? Secret Stone? Like, the worst acting possible for that one line. Exact same every time. I hated it.
They did suddenly become kind of bad for that one line.
Yeah.
Mostly the voice acting was okay, but for that one line, it was like, let's just be bad. Let's be bad at this.
And then, like, they establish in, like, previous parts of the game, Link can talk, or at least communicate things to these people. You'd think at least one time when the ancestor starts, talking to him, Link would be like, oh yeah, that's probably your ancestor, by the way.
Yeah. And then there's also the thing, like, there definitely is, like, secret dialogue for, like, if you get off of the Great Plateau Island before you should. Like, there's special dialogue for that. There's special dialogue if, like, you solve, like, a crisis before Purah tells you to go solve it or something like that.
Yeah.
So there's special dialogue in text, I guess, because it's cutscene. Ooh, Nintendo won't shell out the money for, like, 3 different options in case, like, you beat them back to back or whatever. Like,
yeah, because if that was just the first one you did, completely fine. You don't know what's happening either.
Yeah, and I mean, I really just wanted them to say it differently than everyone else. Like, it just was so annoying. Moving on. I'm getting mad talking about it. But,
it sounds like you hate that worse than the bold buffalo things.
I think I do.
I do.
This one kind of leads into that because it's champion related, but the ghosts are too damn hard to activate for the champion.
When you got all like 5 or 6.
When you have all 5 of them, it is chaos. Like, it's so hard. Like, I'm running around just like, I'm about to get hit. Let me get Sidon's bubble. Oh, let me launch Nobo at him. Where the hell is Riju? I need to launch a lightning bolt. Oh, shit. I activated Tulin's ability, and now he blew all my materials away.
Yeah. That was so annoying in the sky, because he blows your stuff off, and you're just like,
it's gone now.
Shit.
Recall it back to you.
That is just, I don't know how they would have done it. Like, maybe you could hit R, and then you can use the face buttons or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
D-pad.
Some kind of command wheel, like what the arm powers are,
I
think would be the solution, but I don't know how they would implement it.
Something better than running up to them, hitting A, and activating their ability. Because, like, it was great with Tulin's for, like, gliding and stuff. That's great. But
if you could even, like, program in behaviors. Like, if you could tell Riju to stop being so aggressive and hang around me for a little while.
Yeah, because hers is, like, a ranged ability, and she's always all up in the enemies. So, like, it's hard to be ranged when you have to run into the enemy, talk to her, then run away to be ranged.
Or maybe if you could tell Tulin to just, like, hang out behind you so you don't actually accidentally activate his power unless you turn around.
Oh, we're missing the biggest negative, though. Like, where the is Cass?
Yeah.
I miss him.
He was mentioned at some point.
Yeah, there was a quest about him or whatever.
Yeah.
No. When you beat the Pelican guy's quest, he
guy
says he's going to go hunt down a legendary bard from the Rito tribe, and that's Cass, and you find him in a place where Cass used to hang out. But that's all you get about
it very
Cass.
well could be leading into some future DLC.
Yeah.
Because Cass was key to one of them.
Champion's Ballad.
Yeah, Champion's
Ballad.
Ballad.
He sings the ballad. This is the Champion's news report. But,
I love
that
guy.
I loved him.
Yeah.
So long, like, is the coolest thing.
He's so goofy. I love him so much. And I like because Cass, all the other Ritos look like a hawk or whatever. And Cass is the only one that looked like a parrot or a different bird that I could think of. But now we got a Pelican Man.
Pelican Man, yeah.
And one last negative before I forget. This goes along with how there's almost no reference to Breath of the Wild, but so many main characters completely don't remember Link whatsoever. And that was annoying to me, because, like, you'd think the pink-haired construction guy that I paid a crap ton of money and bought my own house back from him, and he's been living in my front yard for like a year, you'd think he would remember me, but nope. He doesn't even, like, seem like he remembers you at all. A few people are just like, oh yeah, Zelda had a swordsman around her. Is that you?
Hylians are historically stupid, to be fair.
Well, I mean, they remember, like, their kids if they haven't seen them in a couple of years, I'm sure, so.
Debatable.
Probably not.
That's true, maybe not.
Link has a dad
Link's
somewhere.
parents forgot him in the Deku Forest. That's the Ocarina of Time setup. Like, they forgot.
Are you being serious? Because they didn't.
No, they just left him there.
Oh, okay.
That's what
The
happened.
Deku Tree just told him he was the hero to make him feel better.
Yeah, no, his parents just forgot him, and he made up that whole story.
With the negatives out of the way, let's get into the meat of this video, which is going to be the vast majority of it, and move on to the positives, because, oh my god, are there a lot of positives.
This is one of those games, like, I mean, we knew before it even came out, but especially, like, when you boot it up, like, the first hour or so, you know this is Game of the Year type game. And most of these positives are, like, super positives, where all the negatives are just, like, minor negatives. So, I mean...
What's the exact opposite of a nitpick?
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is. Because, like, I've got good nitpicks, too. But, Jesus Christ, this game is so good.
Yeah. Like,
So, the biggest one that helps the game be what it is and builds upon what Breath of the Wild did is the physics of the game.
oh, it was great.
Because it works just like Breath of the Wild, but it's a little bit, like, more fine-tuned or something. Because basically, Eiji Aonuma saw everybody in Breath of the Wild making minecarts and flying machines and shit with magnesis, and he was like, why don't we just let them do that? Like,
That's literally what Ascend was a developer tool that they were like, this is fun.
Yeah.
And then they made it a power. It's
And, like, there's so many
incredible.
people that I, like, game developers and stuff, talking about there's an animation when you're connecting a bridge where, like, you can tell that's rendered in-engine, each individual link, and everybody's just like, wow, that's impressive.
yeah.
And,
Yeah,
like,
when game developers don't even know how you did this, that's pretty impressive. Because, like, I'm sure as a game developer, they watch it and they're like, yeah, I know how they did that. But, like, this game, they're like, what the man?
So moving on from the physics to the next part that heavily involves the physics, we have Zonai building.
yeah.
This is on its own. Like, we have the next category is going to be all the other abilities.
Even
but,
if
like,
this is all they added.
building,
Like,
Yeah.
if that was all they added, that would have been fine.
taking a failed Banjo-Kazooie game and slapping it into Zelda, normally you would think this would be a good idea. But this is one of the best, like, ideas that has ever happened, and no one knew they wanted it. Like, no one's sitting there just like, you know what, I wish I could build a go-kart in Zelda.
If you had told me that this was what the next Zelda was going to be, I would be kind of upset.
Yeah, on paper, it sounds terrible.
Yeah, like, I'm glad they saved that trailer for, like, right before the game came out.
Like, imagine
like,
you get
hey,
done-
you can build stuff.
Imagine you get done with Ocarina of Time, and you're 13 years old. That would be me. Then someone walks up and they're like, hey, in 30 years, you're going to be able to make a fucking rocket. And then they disappear back to the future. What the? I would be like,
Yeah.
what? That's so stupid, and I never play games again. But, God, they did it.
But
and
in
they pulled it
practice,
off.
making a flying machine, like, honestly, that's where a lot of the, like, 155 hours I spent was in. Is just, like, making designs, making machines. Like, it literally, like, took the time sync of Breath of the Wild to, the next level, to where the point where, like, I had multiple all-nighters when I was playing this game. Like, I just couldn't stop. even to glance at the clock to see what time it
It's
was.
so fun to build shit in this.
Oh yeah, and even when you fail, because I built like a weird.
That's funner.
Yeah, failures are
like,
almost more fun.
I built like a weird 6-wheeled vehicle that I was trying to make out of like wood boxes and stuff. The moment I started moving, everything broke and fell apart, and I was just like sitting there with my control stick, like, damn it.
Yeah,
but
that
it was funny.
Oh, we might need to upload some of our videos so we
Yeah.
can put them in this, because I have a few failed experiment that I took captures of.
I know I have a capture of the one I just mentioned, so.
And that's the thing too, is like, and unfortunately, you can never get this feeling again. Like, if you're watching and you haven't played yet, like, savor this while it's there. But at the beginning, when you're making,
Stay here. Stay as long as you can. For the love of God, cherish it. You gotta cherish it.
at the beginning when you're making like
Gotta
the
throw that clip in.
primitive Zonai devices, and you're just like, yes, this is slightly slower than walking, like, but you're doing it, like, it is so fun.
Yeah, because it's just like a sled and a fan.
Yeah.
And you're just like skimming
like-
across the rocks, and you're just like, yeah.
It's like,
This
I don't know.
technically works,
I don't
and
know
I
if-
built it.
I don't know if this is a show or whatever. I don't know, but it's just like, I like it because I made it. It's like, it seems like there's something like a quote from a show or a movie like that, but
making so many like
and then you
awkward
get
machines.
good at it though.
Yeah, that's the
Like,
thing. It's like
I thought
the
I would never
failures,
get
like-
good at it, but I did. I started making good machines. I was surprised.
Yeah, we're all gonna
It's
have
like-
a minor in engineering after playing this.
It's like, look, I didn't even like Legos that much as a kid because I was like, I don't want to build it. I just want to play with it. And like, I know that's blasphemous. I was like, you know, like Legos. It's like, I loved Legos. I just didn't want to build the shit. I just wanted to play with it. So this game honestly had me a little bit nervous, but no, it's great. Phenomenal.
So we're gonna move on from Zonai building to just a general topic of all the other abilities, because we got Fuse, we got Recall, we got Ultra Hand, and Auto Build. Two of which are basically Zonai building, so we won't get into those. But fusing
Yeah.
it kind of is building, but it's much more than that, because we got weapon fusing, we got arrow fusing, and shield fusing.
Yeah, you find a fighting style and you just stick with it, man.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like,
I barely use spears in this game, which is weird. I really liked them in Breath of the Wild, but this one, I don't know why. I was all like sword and board, just like shield and short swords. Like, that
well,
was
you
the
could give
only
the
thing I
shields
used.
powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could put a
man.
flamethrower on the shield. You could put cannons on it.
The spring shield was one of my favorites because they hit you and just get catapulted away.
And it makes the hilarious spring noise.
Yeah.
I had a fucking cannon on my shield, so I'm just like blocking and shooting the bastard, and then I'd have a laser on my spear, and I'm like, yeah, other way around, really.
Yeah.
Cannon, spear, laser, shield.
One of
Nothing
my
could touch me with that combo, and then I never made them again.
one of my favorite things to do, which like Scotty said, I probably only did it like 3 times, but putting a bomb on your shield and shield surfing, and then it just like blasts you up in the air.
Oh, the
Yeah.
spring
You
shield? The spring shield?
No,
when you
the
just
bomb
like,
shield.
I know, but I'm saying
But-
the spring
oh.
shield's even better because you're like, boing, it's so
But
far
the
up.
bomb shield.
You don't need
I got to-
Rivali's Gale anymore. You got a spring shield.
But you can recreate the scene from the Legend of Zelda cartoon where he does the bomb skip.
Oh my god.
It's the only time that you can do that in the Zelda game.
That was a
They
deep
predicted
pull.
the future.
I forgot about that. That's what inspired Tears of the Kingdom's fuse mechanic right there.
Yeah. But shield fusing is honestly probably like the weaker of the three, because
Well, the fact that you can make a skateboard out of your shield, and that's one of the more mundane things, is so
Yeah.
ridiculous.
but fusing a weapon to another weapon is just ridiculous.
It's
like,
hilarious.
getting
Oh,
long
yeah.
stick, thick stick,
Long stick, thick stick.
or
the naming is so dumb. I love it.
Hylian broadsword sword, or
Yeah.
like any other.
I put a
namings
mine card
for
on the
that.
tip of a sword, and it was just so funny to me for some reason.
It's so
Yeah.
bad.
So
I-
dumb.
I know one of my favorite things to do was to put a spear on the end of a sword. So I had a really long sword, and I could block with my shield at the same time.
And then on the opposite end of that, when you get to fusing the horns, you make some really cool looking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excluding silver bokoblin swords, they're powerful, but they look stupid as hell.
Like the boss putting boss bokoblin like horns onto a spear. Now you've got a halberd.
Yeah.
Or a trident with black bokoblin horns and stuff like that. They got so cool looking. I love it so much.
And how on the hell do Silver Lizalfos get a Grim Reaper horn? Like, I think it said in the lore or something that they just put weapons on their heads. But, like, seeing a Silver Lizalfos with a scythe coming out of its head is just so stupid and wonderful. And it's very rewarding to take them down because not only you get, like, their weapon, you get their horn, too. So you get 2 weapons. It's awesome.
Yeah. And then you can, if you're being sadistic, you're just like, I'm killing you with your friend. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I guess. If you want to be a serial killer.
I didn't fuse a whole lot mid-combat, but you definitely could.
And not to mention, the fusing you did do mid-combat was arrows. Because arrows you fuse in the moment. You can't batch them like we thought you could. Because we said that in Hive Train leading up to this. I still kind of wish you could to make like a bunch of like eyeball arrows or something. But fusing in the moment for eyeballs, for like homing attacks, wings for longer arrow shots, or you could just straight up put the sword horns on them and get like hyper powered arrows.
Or one thing I did a lot, like, was Gibdo bones.
Gibdo bones. They break in one hit
regardless. They break in one hit, but that's all you need for your arrow.
Yeah.
They're very strong, but they break in one hit on a weapon. Useless. Put them on an arrow.
Now, this is one thing I want to add while we're talking about fusing. I just wish there was a symbol on the fuse item to indicate whether it does sever damage or blunt damage. Because some of them I was not sure, and then it was like, this is not doing good against this
talus. Well, if it's called like a hammer.
Yeah, but like I just want a little symbol
taluses or those,
to indicate.
Those damn trees that you couldn't kill them if you had blunt weapons.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I just wish there was a symbol similar to Monster Hunter or something. But the next one would be the new outfits. I didn't feel that great in the game when you were like looking at them and like I don't know why. Like in the game I was like, this is not that much outfits. Like, why aren't there more outfits?
Yeah.
But looking back at it, there's at least 10 new outfits. And all returning outfits, including Nintendo like legacy content, like the amiibo stuff is in game whether you have the amiibo or not. You can get it.
I think the only one that's not in, and it might be, I think the only one that's not in is Rex's armor from Breath of the Wild, the Xenoblade crossover armor.
And the Nintendo Switch shirt.
Yeah, the Switch shirt. 0 out of 10, no Switch shirt.
And that's like the coveted best armor in the game.
And watch it's in there and we just didn't find it.
Probably.
Yeah.
We're not done with it.
You gotta go find a red meteor or whatever, and then you get it back.
But all the new outfits were very interesting because like all the outfits like played into their strengths of where they should be used best. Because like you have the glow outfit that really helps with the depths and everything like that. We'll talk about those later.
I don't know if I ever really took those pants off because I liked the glow effect.
It's a weird horse glowing armor. Like it's a dumbass wearing a chandelier on his head, but it is cool as shit for some reason.
Looks kind of like an old-timey Dr. Plague mask also. It was weird.
One thing, I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys, but that's in-game too. Like when you're in the in-game movie clips, you see the light like affecting their shadows.
Oh, cool.
Like the couple of times that like you're talking to Purah and it like zooms in and it's like the in-game engine movie clip.
Well, we were all zooming in on Purah. Come on.
Okay. But you also get the Gloom armor that lets you be a mummy and kind of look like Zant and
be a little edgy
resistant to Gloom, so that is also helpful for the depths. You get the frog armor that gives you slip resistance unless you upgrade it to get the outfit ability. Then you're slip proof, and that's amazing. You get the glide armor?
Yeah, I think that's what's called, the glide armor. You look like a bird and you act like a bird.
Yes. That's 100%
Yeah,
it.
it just gives you way better gliding ability and no fall damage whatsoever. You can jump from the highest island to the deepest of the depths. Nothing will hurt you. It's amazing. It's an amazing ability. That's my most worn armor by far, because I'm just jumping off of shit all the time.
Yeah. You also get the Satori outfit. That's just the magic armor, where you have, what is it called, like rupee padding or something,
Yeah,
where you
you
just
just-
lose
Oh,
money,
yeah.
not health. So if you're rich, cool. If you're not, I wouldn't wear it, but you probably will be by the time you get it.
It looks cool. It's glowy.
And then you also have like the 3 elemental attack ones. Those are really cool. They kind of don't work the greatest because like you have to be in the environment to do it, but they don't like, you know, the ice one doesn't let you like resist the cold. You just have
Yeah.
better attacks in the cold.
Oh, that's weird.
So it's kind of weird. Like it should just be the ice attack all the time or the fire attack all the time.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like, especially because like if you had it all the time and you're in the Elden region with the ice armor, like you could just be one-shotting all those stupid fireless alphos and stuff like that. I feel like a badass. Like that's where it would be most useful. But yeah. But ultimately, all the outfits were pretty cool. A lot of cool new ones, and a lot of great ideas I didn't know I needed because we had no idea about the depths until we
Yeah.
got into this.
That's
so,
what I was gonna say. Is
That's
like
one of the best parts. They didn't tell anybody about the depths.
yeah. So
Oh,
the
it's-
depths,
It's huge.
I spent most of my time in the depths. Like I charted the entire goddamn thing. It was phenomenal, and I would do it all again. And I just loved doing it so much. I don't know why they were just like, you know what? Stranger Things, let's put the upside down in this. And everything's weird, wet, kind of floaty, and shit's all in the air, and everything's scary down
Kind
here.
of scared to breathe down here, but we're gonna go. And the depths were so freaking cool, especially because they have exclusive enemies down there. Like you got the frogs. And
Yeah.
the little
Frogs
baby
and
frogs.
baby frogs.
I think those are the only exclusives down there, really. But they were really damn cool.
Yeah, everything else is like stuff that you can find up top, but they're covered in malice.
Gloom.
Or
It's
gloom.
Gloom's different.
I forgot,
Yeah.
malice is not in this game.
Yeah. No, Gloom is worse.
Yeah.
Because you lose hearts. If you get attacked by a Gloom enemy, or if you stand in Gloom, you lose that heart until you get purified or eat something that gives you that heart back. And like that's such a cool mechanic. It is super detrimental at
Oh,
the beginning game. Like that was a
I
lot
remember-
of it.
Oh God!
I
it
remember
just
the first time,
no. Go ahead.
like when I was tried to use a potion to heal the damage, and it didn't go away, and I was just like, oh no,
Yeah,
this is different.
It's so cool. That's where the spookiness comes in for this game, really. That and the gloom hands. But
Oh, God. Yeah.
the depths were so cool, and like, I don't think I've ever felt that amount of oppressive darkness in a game.
Yeah.
Because like you legit cannot see a foot in front of Link until you like throw one of your light bubbles or whatever, and like it's so cool. And even just diving down there when it's like
yeah.
Yeah.
It was the cool like
the cool like
war
horn.
horn.
Yeah, it's like announcing your presence. I was like, please don't announce me. I don't want anyone to know I'm here. I'm sneaking around, man. I don't want to fight these f***ing monsters. And then that's when style horses are king. You get a style horse in
Yeah.
the depths, you're a king among men. That gloom, they don't care. You ride straight through it. But damn, dude, the depths were like the best. Keeping that a secret was my favorite marketing decision they made. Because, like, it's the same size as the overworld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's
have
insane.
3 tiers of Breath of the Wild's map. Like Sky, Breath of the Wild, Land,
And yeah,
and below.
The sky
Like,
is intermittent, like, little islands here and there.
Yeah.
It's not... It's bigger than Skyward Sword
The-
Sky for sure.
The sky
But
was
it's-
cool, but yeah.
But the depths are legit the exact same size. Like, you don't fly between islands like in the sky. It's just the same thing, but spooky. It's just all down there. And, like, seeing the pillars connecting and realizing that the shrines connect to the light roots.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
cool.
Not
it's
to mention,
amazing.
there's these multiple Zonai, I call them Zonai garages.
Yeah.
It's just like little depots with a bunch of Zonai equipment in there, so then you're just like, okay, what does this region have? It's got fans, a control stick, levitating stones, what can I build
And it's
with
got
these?
a shitload of coliseums down there for like every enemy type.
Yeah.
Every
It's
enemy
so
type
cool.
has a coliseum.
The first one I found was Oops All Lionels. So that was fun. Just fighting every type of Lionel.
First one I found was Horriblins.
Ugh.
Cool new enemy, but like I walked in and
At
it
least
was
they have nowhere to climb in there.
No, they did.
Damn it!
Because it
I
was
didn't find that
literally
one.
like floor, Link's height, and then ceiling. So they were just like
Oh, no.
upside down fighting me in there. Like it was cool.
I never found that one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's surrounded by Gibdos.
First thing I found was the one that you have to fight a
graveyard.
Hinox.
Oh man, the Gibdos were
Oh,
so
man.
cool.
Gibdos are cool. Moth Gibdos.
Why'd they
Yeah.
make them into bugs? They were
I
already
don't know.
creepy
They
enough,
don't
and then they
know.
made them into weird little.
They were just like, how can we
monster
make
bugs.
them even worse?
You had moths versions, and then they crawl
Oh, man.
after you on all fours when the. Blah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Gibdos and the depths, to add another feather to the depths cap, you get boss refights down there. Like
They don't pop up till
Yeah.
you fight
3
the
of
first
each,
time.
and they're rewarding too because you get 100 Zonai charges, and that gives you a whole ass new battery. Like if you take it to the Zonai person that just slams it into a battery.
Yeah.
But you get 3 boss fights of each one. Each gives you that reward, so that's 12 new battery cells. Like if you do all of them, all cool. Like the depths was just it was one of my favorite things in Zelda like history. Like it was so cool. I love it.
And even adding on to that, like the surface changed a lot too.
It did.
Because you have caves and wells now that are a result of the upheaval, and some of the caves lead to the depths. The Lome labyrinths, all the labyrinths have a sky, land, and depths version. Oh my god. Like, how did they take Breath of the Wild and make it feel small?
Right.
They
It
made Breath
is.
of the Wild. Breath of the Wild feels like a tech demo now to me. I don't know if I can ever go back to it. I really don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh. So keeping with the depths, we're going to talk about the Yiga clan. Because the Yiga
Yeah.
clan
That was
is somehow better than in Breath of the Wild. Like, Koga being better isn't that hard. I didn't think
Yeah.
he was that great.
Yeah,
like, he has an awesome song,
Koga kind of sucks.
decently fun boss fight.
It's like,
but-
why'd they take the coolest shit and make him a joke? He's the leader of a faction of Yiga, of a
Sheikah
Sheikah
defectors.
defectors. That's awesome. And then he's
Yeah.
a joke. And this one, he was a little scary.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
but
like
still
Edward.
funny.
Still
Oh,
funny.
yeah, still funny.
They found a good balance between goofy and sinister, and
I loved him. Like that
Koga
was.
was vastly improved in this game.
I mean,
I
he,
think the Koga fights might have been my favorite thing down there.
so he
Oh,
was just
man, the
down.
one
Was
when
he just
you-
down there for 5 years?
Yeah,
Because-
that's
Yeah.
how he figured out to build vehicles.
So he's a badass. Straight
Not
up.
to
Like-
mention, you get the auto build ability, and then killing all these Sheikahs gets you like blueprints for stuff you can just build. There's little Sheikah outposts that you can just take down, get some, get a
Yiga.
build from. Oh, Yiga, yeah. Take them down, get the build blueprints and a little bit of charges from, and it's just like a cool thing to keep doing down there. And then every
Oh, yeah.
the big mines, like you have a Koga fight, you
Like,
get a new one.
Honestly, every time I was confronted with Koga, I just wanted to. I wish I had the option to like join him instead.
Yeah.
Because
So you can join the Yiga clan.
you can,
You're just not Koga.
yeah. Because he was always like, "You're always in my way."
I
And I'm
wonder if
just
he
like,
has alternate dialogue if you're wearing the Yiga suit.
"Ooh, he might."
I killed him way before. Well,
But if I
actually,
could be like,
he's in
look,
space now.
This is how it opens.
Yeah, that's Breath of the
And
Wild
then-
3. It's in space because
Yeah.
Koga hinted at the
And
this
the depths.
feature.
So
Yeah.
next you're gonna have depths, land, sky, space.
Jesus. But I'd say let's bring it back to the light a little bit because I wanted to talk about the world in general and how they are rebuilding it,
Yeah.
and that's
Oh,
really
yeah.
cool. It's like the Highlands
literal world building. Like
Yeah.
it was amazing to see.
the Highlands and everybody are more involved in getting everything rebuilt now because before scared to leave their village, but you killed the demon smoke pig, so now they're they'll come out of their house a little, and I thought that was really cool that they
Yeah.
were helping, like they were actively rebuilding this world.
Yeah, I really liked that the world just felt more lively. Like, I know in Breath of the Wild it was supposed to feel lonely and isolated, but sometimes I like to have fun when I'm walking around and, like, finding people.
Yeah, like you gotta catch a bunch of chickens and stuff before you go fight Ganondorf. Like, you can have some fun in Zelda too, but it doesn't have to be all desolate. But then Breath of the Wild was just like, yep, it's all desolate.
It's all desolate. And then Tears of the Kingdom, still pretty desolate, but the world is together now.
Yeah.
And like they straight up say it a lot with your companions. They're like, Link, you don't have to do this alone.
Yeah.
You don't. And I was
Yeah.
like, it's like straight up. It's cheesy. Brought a tear to my eye though.
Yeah.
Every time they're like, Link, we're your friends. I'm like, yes, you are.
Man, speaking
Thank
of,
you, ghost friends.
I loved having companions to walk around
Yeah,
with.
it's weird that in Zelda you have more of a party than they do in Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah. Very odd.
Like, we mentioned it in a negative because it's not implemented very well, but having them there
Well, I
made
would
the
say it
adventure
mostly
more
is.
fun.
I would say it's mostly implemented well, just with
Yeah.
that little... Activating them can be a little funky.
Yeah.
But having
having
Tulin
a
getting random
whole-
crits, that's
Oh my
awesome.
god, Tulin's
Yeah,
by far the best one.
MVP. Like,
I
jeez.
wish they would do their abilities just like randomly.
Yeah.
Too, like if Unobo just launched into something and
Yeah.
you didn't tell him to, like that would scare the
Well,
shit out of
everyone
me.
else is melee.
That'd be
Tulin's taking
cool.
out motherfuckers before I even knew they were there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Oh
like,
my
thanks
God.
for the
There
3
was-
parts, buddy.
There were several times that I just saw a corpse fall down. And I was just like, "Oh,
Yeah,
thank you."
I heard a ding and then like a bunch of keys fell down. I was like, God damn, give me
The
that
Ghost
eyeballs.
Buddies are so cool. One cool Easter egg I found out, and I have seen no one talk about this, but if you wear like the Val Meadow mask or the Val Salamander mask
I've
or
noticed
whatever
that.
the Divine Beasts are, that Ghost Buddy will put on their like Zonai Divine Beast helmet.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know if it
cool.
gives them a power boost or something. It'd be cool as shit if it did. But you can give them a slight power boost if you get 4 Sage Wills.
Yeah, I noticed that on my wife's playthrough though. It was like,
Yeah.
because I didn't know that until then, like basically, and like that's honestly part of a slight pro that like I basically forced myself away from this game because I knew if I didn't get out, I wouldn't play anything else, and my wife wanted to play it. So like, you're welcome that I forced myself away from there.
I mean, I had to do the same thing. Like, I'm sitting here trying to do research for 2 rankings. New games are coming out all over the place. Like, I can't spend another 155 hours in
It
this game. Like,
Broke me.
like I literally
broke
put
me.
400 something in Breath of the
Yeah.
Wild.
I tried to
Like-
play Diablo 4 after I was done with Tears of the Kingdom. I could not force myself to get into it. Couldn't do it. That might not be anything to do with Diablo. It may not be anything to do with anything. But
Well, I'm having the same issue
it's-
with Final Fantasy 16. Like, I just can't get into it nearly as easily as I thought I could. Because, like, I was super hyped for it. And then Tears of the Kingdom came out. And, like, not saying it's bad or anything. It's actually very good. I don't know why. I can't. It's like I spent my all-night gaming tokens
Yeah,
on Tears of the Kingdom.
I think it's going to be
Like
like
you-
me because I'm going to get into Pikmin 4 because it's fun.
Oh, hell yeah.
But I think I just needed a break, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was with Diablo for me and Final Fantasy for you. Is I think I just needed to take some time off and let my brain fix itself. That not every game can be like this,
Yeah, that's why.
or should
like,
be really. But
'cause-
it's just ugh.
Because I tried to get back into Octopath 2 because I never finished it because Breath of the Wild came out, or not, Tears of the Kingdom. And I tried to do that again after I called myself done, and I just wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
Luckily, Oxenfree 2 came out, and that's kind of getting me back in because that's a very different game.
Oh, yeah. Way,
But-
way different. Oh, man. But, get back on track a little
Yeah,
bit here.
sorry.
Back to the world.
Somewhat
I guess. What were
back
we
to the
on?
world. They have this really cool thing where the world sucks. And, it's similar to Majora's Mask. Like, you
Yeah.
go to the Rito town, they're just like, we're stuck in a blizzard. And then you beat the temple, then everything's all happy again. Just like Majora's Mask. It's really cool because this time it stays.
Yeah.
And you don't have to just keep going to the sad parts over and over again.
Man, I was so nervous that like every blood moon the pirate village would come back and I'd have to fight him again.
The pirate village?
The pirate village.
That was an awesome
Not only did they
process.
give Llewellyn something cool to do, oh my god, you fight off pirates and then you restore the village?
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
That does lean into like what Daniel was saying too, because the side quests felt meaningful in this. Not even the ones where it's just like, oh look, I cleaned Zora's domain. They were having trouble. Now the pollution's gone. That was cool. But some of the weird stuff where it's just like when you're putting the band back together, to
Literally
wake up the fairies and like the newspaper quest and stuff.
Deciding, well, you don't decide, but running a mayoral campaign.
Yeah, that was one of the most enjoyable ones.
Where did that come from?
If you had told me that I would have so much fun getting involved in a mayor campaign, I would have called you a liar. Because...
And then, like, speaking of Zora's real quick, y'all get off of Sidon's wife. Alright? She's nice.
Yeah,
her head looks like a manta ray. That's kind of cool.
She's nice. She's supportive of him.
She
encourages him to go on an adventure.
She gave me the waterfall suit. Like, she's nice. I know y'all have the hots for the 7-foot-tall fish man with a shark for a head. Calm down. He's not real. Get off his wife. She's a nice lady, and she's fine. She's got a cool manta ray head. And he's king now. That's cool.
That's true.
Sidon is king now. That's really cool. And I like that he was down in the dumps at first, but then he got his literal sparkle back with his smile.
Yeah.
Because his wife was like, get off of your ass. And he's like, all right. Ding.
And then another cool thing about the world that is yet another improvement upon Breath of the Wild is there were much better enemy placements where Breath of the Wild, some of the fields it would be like Bokoblin camp here, all the way on the other end is another Bokoblin camp. But that's a whole ass field to get through with nothing else.
Or like a mountain in between.
There's a lot more enemies and a lot more enemy variety too.
Because you're in the middle of the New World Order chaos this time.
Yeah.
Because last time the New World Order had settled. This was monster territory. This is people territory.
Yeah.
Everything's now, and Link is in the middle of it, and it was a great setup.
But enemy variety is a lot more. Breath of the Wild was semi-lacking in that. We had some palette swaps, but ultimately basically just 5 enemies. In this one, now we have those 5 enemies, but more too. Because we got likes back. They're all nasty.
Oh, that's so gross.
Stubby little funny legs, and I think it's hilarious to see them.
Yeah.
All
actually
of which
change the way I look at likes, because now they're not weird pancake slugs. I'm imagining those little feet just slowly walking towards you in the old games.
Yeah. But likes are
rock likes
regular,
really surprised me.
And then you have 3 elementals. 4 because rock likes.
5 technically because of the muck like, but that was only once.
Yeah, that was once. But we got Horriblins, a brand new Iblin. They got hammers on their heads.
Oh god, imagine if mini-blins were in the depths.
Oh,
I wish.
But then when you turn around, they stop.
They
just
boost.
stop.
That would be so
well,
creepy.
no, they don't. You don't see them. I'm saying it's still dark.
Yeah, that'd be so
coming
creepy.
After you, stalking you.
Oh,
if you just hear them, and then when you look at them, they stop. Oh my god.
And you see them when you light the things up down there, but when it's dark down there, maybe you'll see glowing eyes, but that would be cool if they were. But they're not, so we're gonna move on.
Yeah, no, we got Horriblins, weirdo proboscis monkeys that make funny noises and land on their butts.
Were they the monkey noises in the jungle area, in the Zonai jungle area? Because there's no monkeys in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
We also have Aracudas.
Aracudas were great.
Yeah,
Aracudas are awesome, mainly just for the utility of the materials, but
they look cool.
They're cool. They die in one hit regardless. But the coolest part to me about Aracudas is whenever they swipe at you in the sky and you kill them, but you're way high up, you still get the parts. Like that
I
was
love
such
that.
cool. Like to
Oh
me.
man, seeing one carry a silver bokoblin around,
Yeah.
and then I sniped its ass, and it just dropped that silver bokoblin and killed it too. I was like, "That's part city, baby," and started gathering them up.
That was my favorite thing, was seeing all them picking up all kinds of stuff. Cause
Yeah,
They
they
just
just
like-
treasure chests.
they were
pick
dropping
up bokoblins.
yeah,
Like,
giant snowballs. Like there was so many things that they would just drop on you.
They just like picking things up. I mean, I don't know, weird little guys.
what's some of the other new? Oh, boss
Boss
bokoblins.
Boss bokoblins.
Speaking of dropping
Gibdos,
enemies,
as
like,
we already mentioned.
if they don't have
Yeah.
weapons, the boss bokoblins just pick up bokoblins and throw them at you.
Yeah. New Age Gibdos. This was weird.
Ooh.
They look,
Bugs.
they are basically re-deads because Gibdos were always just regular mummies. Like these ones have some form of bandages, but they're like weirdo bugs with rattlesnake mentality. Like they get
Yeah.
closer to you, they elongate, start shaking their bones at you to scare you off, and then they crawl after you. And then some of them rot for too long, I guess, and grow moth wings because. You know,
Why not?
Queen Gibdo is just making these weirdo pods in the desert that birth Gibdos, and there's moth Gibdos that vomit from the sky. Like, it was so crazy because I knew they existed. I didn't know they were moths until I was in the depths, and I was just like, "What the f*** is that flying at me?" And this. It's just a Gibdo. It just starts throwing up at me, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Fucking Gibdos.
Yeah,
And you have
like-
to hit them with an element or they're invincible. Like, that's so
Yeah.
cool. You have to
Yeah.
hit them with fire, ice, or lightning, or they just
Or what?
can't be hurt. Or what?
Yeah, any element.
Or dazzle fruits.
Really? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't that kill them immediately?
I
Or
mean,
something?
it does a lot of damage. Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
if it's immediate, but probably. Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of Gibdos, and specifically Queen Gibdo, we have temples back. Like,
Yes.
they're not as much as like a themed dungeon as or dungeon, I should have said, not temple.
Yeah.
They are.
They were called
yeah.
temples in this. But, oh man, that one, like the lightning or
The
I'm
lightning.
lightning temple, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, it's lightning.
The
And
That
lightning
one was so
temple.
cool.
The only one I didn't love was the water temple.
I love the water one, but I
was-
found it on
was
accident.
Fine. It was good.
I loved
Yeah.
it because I thought I was just doing Sky Island shit, and then I
Well-
got to it, and it was like, "You're at the water temple," and I was
I
like,
take it back. I
"I
did.
shouldn't be here."
I didn't, and there's no correct way to play this game, but I did not do the fire temple correctly, because it was like, put this minecart under here. I was like, no, and I just made a little goblin glider and just went across everything because I was like, it took me the wrong way.
Yeah.
I'll
See,
just fly up this way.
it told me to minecart, and I was like, "I'll do you one better." And I made a minecart skateboard shield and just did that across all the rails.
Yeah, I just flew over the whole temple. I was like, they let me do this. I'm gonna do it,
Yeah.
and
like
they let me do it.
Anytime I had trouble, I just started climbing walls and using ascend, and normally you could find your way that way too.
I made one bike or one goblin glider, and I took it the whole temple, pretty much.
Yeah, but that was a really interesting thing to actually experience. Was temples being back. Like they're not the most unique or thought-provoking temples, but they're enough to get the job done.
Oh yeah.
But the thing that really helped
they gave me the
accentuate
feeling.
them was there's actual factual bosses. It's not just
Yeah.
Ganon clones. It's
No, you got
Queen Gibdo. We got Marbled Goma, Muktarok, who's
Most-
annoying, and then you also have. I always forget what it is. It's either Coldera or Colduga.
Colgera.
Cold
One
Gare.
of those. That
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Colgera.
That sounds
like
right.
Molgera.
Because I always knew it's
yeah,
like Molgera, but then there's Molduga, and
Yeah.
there's a whole lot of moles in
Fuck,
this
it's
one.
so cool.
And
They're all real good, except for I didn't like the octopus inky guy as much.
He's more annoying than
But
anything,
marbled,
but he's not bad.
Marbled rock roast, whatever his name was really
Goma.
cool. Goma, Marble Goma.
The longest running
Yeah.
Zelda boss.
I was kind of hoping for Rock the Dongo, but that didn't happen. But God,
that-
it's so good.
I mean, kind of. the frogs are kind of like
And
the
like,
Donkos.
let me talk.
Kinda.
Let me talk. My least favorite temple was the Spirit Temple because it was just nothing.
It's
but-
just assemble this robot.
But
Yeah.
holy shit, that temple led to one of my favorite moments in the game because right when I thought I knew all this game's tricks, the wonder was over. I was like, yeah, this is great, but I know everything now. I go to the Sky Island with Storm because I was like, I need to investigate this storm. I haven't seen it the whole game. And I pick up this mask and it's like, hey, come find me. I was like, I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
thought I
they
was
got me
going-
back. I was like, I know all your tricks now, game. Then this mask is like, follow this laser. I'm like, you bitch, you son of a bitch, you got me back, you bastard. Oh, it was so good.
Man,
So I
that
mounted
was-
that mask to the front of my goblin glider, and I just wee go find him.
And that's the thing too, is like we didn't really talk about it when we were talking about the champions, but Link gets a goddamn mech.
Yeah.
Yes, Minoru.
And you have a rock'em sock'em robot fight.
two of them. You have the one with Koga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have the one to win the mech. And you get a mech. You can build your own mech, of course, but you get a mech, and you just fuse stuff to her. I'm sad that she can't do the bow, but I had that bitch dual-wielding cannons. So it was like complete battlefield chaos. Put a fan on the back for some goofy running, but it's faster and better than a horse.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not faster, but the horse doesn't run like this, so
Yeah.
it's not as fun.
And that reminds me of one of my other main positives is you can tell this game was designed to be broken successfully.
Yes.
Because like I know in the
Fire Temple, what I was just talking about.
Yeah,
I
like
mean,
what we were talking about with that, or like in the water temple. After the second time when I raised up the water, I was like, okay, it was getting late at night. I don't remember what it was, probably like 1 or 2 in the morning. I was just like, I gotta go to bed. So I just grabbed all the pieces of driftwood in the room and made a bridge and walked up to the middle and got the thing.
there were multiple nights I got poor sleep because of this game.
God,
Like,
I
there
did
were
that
multiple
first
nights
night. I
could
put 20
not-
logs together on the Sky Island. I was like,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go to this island with this construct because I don't know how to get there, and then
I could not
slowly walked across.
sleep sometimes because I kept thinking about new builds to try or new things I can do
Mm-hmm.
or what I needed to do. And every time I had a goal in mind, what a fool I was. I was like, I'm gonna go here. So my goal was I beat the Wind Temple, and I was like, I'm going to Goron City next. I got basically to Goron City. I shot out of the tower, and I saw something to the south, and I was like, oh, I'll just go see what that is. I ended up in Gerudo Town at some point, and that was the next temple because I just kept going. It was so cool. I just kept seeing new cool stuff, and then I was like, "Oh, I'm in the desert. All right. Oh, sandstorm. Oh God, let me go look at that." And then eventually, 50 hours later, I did do the Goron Temple, the Goron shit with Wrestler Yonobo.
Oh man,
That's another big positive. Like, seeing Tulin growing up apparently is cool. Like, I didn't even know he was in Breath of the Wild, but it's cool. Like, going back now, I know who he is and stuff. But him and Riju growing up was very interesting to see. Like, it really gives you, like, a sense of, like, what the time passing was. Sidon didn't really change. But Yunobo, the first time you see him, he's wearing his wrestling mask. Like, I was like, oh my god, this is all I've ever wanted.
He's all pissed off. It's weird.
He's all pissed
Yeah.
off.
He's like, hey, f*** you, Goro! And I'm like, dude, calm down. He's like, "F*** you,
yelling
old man."
at children and elderly men. They're like, he's just like, you won't challenge me. I run this town, bitch.
Goro means bitch. God damn, Wrestler Yonobo was so funny.
Yeah,
And then
he
you get
was-
to fight him. That was fun.
Yeah.
I wish he got to keep his mask, though.
Yeah, I wish he kept his mask. But we've gone on for quite a long while. We have a few quick things to say. These are hyper diaper spoilers if you haven't beaten it yet. We're about to talk about Ganondorf and how much he dwarfs. So if you
Yeah.
don't want to see it, click away. But with that out of the way, let's get into it. My favorite thing about the final battle is that this game does not punish you for playing it like Breath of the Wild did, because when I got to Calamity Ganon and then Divine Beast Laser took away half of his health bar, I was so mad. Like, I was genuinely pissed off that they robbed me of taking down half of this boss. Like, I want that. Give me the option to do that. Don't just do it for me. Like, I want the challenge. It still wasn't even that challenging, but then now it's even half that challenging. Like, oh god, that made me so mad. This game kind of, you could say, takes away some of the challenge, but you also have the ability to turn. Well, actually, they're there in person, so I don't know if you can turn them off. But if you get all the champions, then you have your whole squad there to fight the Demon King's army.
Oh, that was great.
I went and found this, like, first thing. I was just like, I'm going to see how far I can get to Ganondorf, like, with 3 hearts. I got to the end after much trial and error. But, yeah, I couldn't get past the Demon King's army. But with my whole squad and a lot more hearts, I did get past the Demon King's army. And then there were multiple other phases that I had no chance in doing earlier. But getting past the Moblins and Bokoblins and stuff like that with them helping, it was obviously more helpful, but nowhere near, like, cutting out half of the challenge of it.
So, before we get too much more into Ganondorf, should we get into the story more? Or should
I was going to count that as story, because the story's all about the dwarf.
Oh, yeah. I just didn't know if we wanted to start, like, beginning a story and lead into Ganondorf, or how we were wanting to do the story. But the story is real good.
Well, yeah, we'll go ahead and go into the story right now. But the fact that it even has an actual story, and it's not just like, Ganon bad, go smack.
Because, Breath of the Wild had a cool story, but it all happened 100 years ago.
Yeah.
And this one's like, cool shit happened tens of thousands of years ago, but also cool shit's happening now. Yeah. So it was really good. It was really good story, and like the beginning, oh my god.
Yeah,
that's one of the best moments in Zelda history, and like it's so confined and contained. Like, it's so cool, but like, because the rest of the game's not like that. Yeah. But he's just spooky walking.
And that's one of the things too, is like this game, like you get a little bit in like, it's mainly Demon King, Secret Stone. That's the cutscenes you get with the champions. But you do get a little bit extra, too. But most of it is confined to, not memories, but like the
tears of the kingdom.
Yeah.
Glyphs? What are they called?
Geoglyphs.
Geoglyphs. Yeah.
The literal tears of the kingdom.
Yeah. That's where most of the story is. And unfortunately, you can do them out of order.
Yeah, that hits you pretty hard.
You get very confused. Luckily, mine wasn't that much out of order. It was like parts 8 and 7. So it was like I could
two
tell
of the big ones.
Yeah, they were 2 of the big ones, but one it started in the middle of it. I was like, did I miss something? And then the next one it was like to be continued. I was like, this is the other one.
So it started with you exploring the depths under Hyrule Castle, and Zelda's talking about it. You know, like hey, this is forbidden. Like, this is bad. But we have to explore it. And then, but when you find Mummy Ganondorf and he like cracks to life and all that, and he's like, "Oh, Zelda, and you're Link," and they're just like like, because I didn't realize I did, but I didn't think about it really. They don't know anything about Ganondorf.
No,
this Link and Zelda have no idea. Yeah. So like they were both just like, "The does this mummy know us? What's happening?" And then everything went to shit. The Master Sword straight up shatters. Oh my god.
Does a little sliver of damage on
but it did hurt.
Ganondorf's face.
And he starts talking shit. Yeah. And he's like, "Oh, was that the sword that seals the darkness? Nah." And then he Kamehameha's Hyrule Castle into the sky. Zelda falls, goes to the past. Right?
Yeah.
A cool detail, when you get to that part where she fell, the torch is there.
Oh, cool.
Like her torch was falling with her right there. That's a really small, cool detail that they did not have to do. But then, you know, your arm's fucked, and
you get one from a ghost rabbit.
Yeah, Rauru's like, "Hey, here's my arm. It's smaller for you." And then that's where you get all your cool powers, is that cool arm. And you find in these things, Zelda's 10,000 years ago, talking to this rabbit and his wife. That's just a lady.
Yeah, it's really interesting, like, with the story, how they're just using recall and stasis and stuff like that, like, just for common shit. Like, Zelda breaks a cup, and Sonia's just like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
Like that. That's fine.
It's pretty cool, and Zelda's got both of their powers.
Yeah, Zelda.
So like the descendant shit, because like obviously they had kids before Sonya got straight murdered.
Yeah.
So I don't know anything. We don't know anything about those kids, but they had to have if Zelda's genetically got both of their powers.
Yeah, and that was one thing that was interesting. I went back and watched them again later because I didn't notice it the first time. But like in the clip where Sonya and Zelda are both like powering up Rauru, Zelda's like energy sphere is bigger than Zelda's or than Sonya's.
Yeah. So Zelda's got both.
Because it's very strongly hinted that Zelda's way stronger than she thought she was.
Yeah.
And
but then,
that was her whole thing in Breath of the Wild too. Was basically her confidence wasn't there.
Yeah, and then so basically all this is leading to certain things, and Zelda basically the only way she can get back to Link in at least 10,000 years in the future. And it was not subtly led up to.
Not at all.
But it's still really cool. She had to eat her secret stone and become an immortal dragon. But that means you lose yourself to it, pretty much. Which, maybe not, because that dragon still clearly had a mission. But I guess you can keep parts of yourself. I don't know.
I don't know, because they brought her back, too, and, like...
It kind of... could have been cool if they brought her back, not had been able to bring her back, but also like that was so cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
Turning into a dragon, keeping a sword in your head for 10,000 years to power it up.
Bar none, cool. The coolest way we've ever gotten the Master Sword. It's not like I'm in a magic forest like every other game. Like no offense, like I love all those other games, but that's all. It's always a magic forest or whatever, or like Temple of Time or whatever. This one's on your girlfriend's head. That's a dragon now. I mean, like, implied girlfriend, I guess. Did they live together, or was that just Zelda's house?
She just took his house.
Took Link's house and kicked him out.
But the cool part is, for this one, Breath of the Wild, you had to have a lot of hearts. This game, you have to have a lot of stamina, because the sword's in a dragon's forehead, and Link's, like, holding on, getting blown back by the wind, because the dragon's freaking out. And it was just so cool. The Zelda turn into that dragon. Because, like, you see the dragon in the Sky Islands, and you're like, oh, new dragon.
New dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, the light dragon.
Zelda.
That's cool. Yeah, nope, it's Zelda. Got weird, creepy eyes. But, so, now we can talk about the dwarf.
Yeah, because...
Holy shit.
He was a presence throughout all of those memories because
by far the best one, Demon King Awakens. Like holy shit.
He killed the queen, stole her secret stone, became the Demon King, instantly made a bunch of monsters, and was leading his people to battle like with monsters on a weird demon unicorn that we never saw again.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is the most threatening Ganondorf has ever been. Probably the most powerful he's ever been.
Probably.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
did they sell it?
Scary. Like, by far, like,
we thought he was Demise in the trailer.
Yeah, like, he when he's Demon King, he looks like Demise. Like, he's got, like, the scale armor. Like, he's got the long, flowing hair. He doesn't quite look like Akuma, but it's close. Like,
I'd say my second place for best memory is the ceiling of Ganon.
That was cool.
That was so cool how it's like this all-out assault with the champions and nobody could do a thing.
Yeah.
And
like,
then
why
tricked him.
Why is Ganon so powerful? Like, I know why, obviously, but like, so much more.
The Triforce isn't a thing right now.
Yeah, it's not even mentioned.
So why is he more powerful? It's wild. Right. But it's just got to be the spirit of Demise still, of course. But good God, that cutscene, and then Rauru seals him, and he's like, "Yeah, you're gonna die," and he's like, "I know." Both talking shit to each other, and then he's like, "Link's gonna kick your ass," and Ganondorf's like, "All right, let him try," and then mummies.
Yeah.
Like, I loved how like battle hungry he was, and as soon as he perceived you as weak, you meant nothing to him.
Yeah.
It's like immediately he was like, oh, and attacked Link with his full force, and then was like, you're nothing, and just leaves. Doesn't even bother killing him. He's just like, all right, that was very overhyped, and he just goes into the pit.
Yeah.
And after that, like, and then puppet Zelda and shit.
Yeah, he makes a puppet Zelda, and then he's just like, hey, follow her to the Hyrule Castle and fight me. And then he's just like, oh, yeah, here's 10 Phantom Ganons to kick your ass.
Yeah. And then your friends come to help. So that was real cool that your friends had to come help. And, like, the same Gloom attack that was going to get you again, your friends were like, no! Badass.
That's exactly how it happened, too. But that was a really cool fight. And then the actual final battle, after you get past Demon King's army, you fight Ganondorf. And he fights so much like the Phantom Ganons, but like refined.
Like a souped up version. Like he had different attacks and way stronger attacks. And then
it felt like he had different timing too, because
Yeah,
I
did.
fought a few Phantom Ganons by that point.
yeah,
And
then you get past the first level, and then he goes all Demon King with his secret stone, and like the best immersion break in game, like their health bars fill up and then stop. His didn't. It just kept going off the screen.
Yeah.
his health bar went like so far, and I was so intimidated by that.
Like just
That
that
was
one
horrifying.
thing was so cool.
And then that fight was
Hard.
hard. It was incredible.
He
It was
kept
scary.
flurry rushing.
Oh, not only can he gloom you, when he hits you with his big attacks, your heart
Shatters.
It's
Yeah.
gone. It's not gloomed. You cannot recover it. It's gone.
yeah, he had done that to like
How-
one or two before I was like, oh no.
How
I didn't know what
intimidating.
that noise was.
How intimidating was that? Like, Jesus
Like,
Christ.
Not as intimidating as him going through every single shield I had,
Oh
including
my
the
God,
Hylian
yeah.
shield.
Hylian shield, he's just like, nah, that's paper.
Hylian Shield I barely used up until that point, and
Yeah.
it felt like he shattered it in 3 hits.
3 hits.
Yeah.
2 hits for Lionel's, 1 hit for anything else. By the end, I had no shield. I was just like, I hope I'm good enough to dodge.
Yeah, the first time I got to Demon King Ganondorf, and the first time I didn't. I died twice. The first time I had to leave. I had to leave the marker behind where I could teleport back and leave because I did not prepare any gloom stuff. So I had 4 hearts left, couldn't recover jack shit, and I just got murdered. So I had to leave and come back. And then I came back, died again, because he kept shattering my hearts. But then the third time I got his ass. But my God, what a final battle. But it's not over yet, folks.
No, it's not.
It's not over yet.
He takes off his secret stone
He
and
says-
shoves his arm
Elbow deep into his mouth.
his own mouth. He's like,
All right, dragon time, bitch. And then just
He
eats
is
it.
just that pissed that it doesn't matter if he can fit his arm that far down or
Yeah,
not.
Right, like I guess he just wanted it like immediately
Yeah.
to hit his
And-
stomach. Like,
Yeah, he didn't want to wait for digestion or something, but he just demonically swallowed that, turned into Dragondorf. So Ganondorf turned
bad
into...
dragon and
oh,
good dragon fight
Yeah.
in the sky. Like,
So he turned into a dragon, launched you into the air. He's about to swallow you, I guess. No, you're in his mouth. That's right.
Yeah, you were in his
Link's
mouth.
in his mouth, and then Zelda's like, "Rawr, that's my boyfriend." And Ganon's like, "He's my boyfriend."
this is verbatim the dialogue that happened.
So then he, I guess, throws Link out of the mouth. I don't remember. But you're falling.
Yeah.
Zelda catches you. Oh my God. What it was easy. That's the only real flaw with it for me. It was easy.
Yeah,
But
it's-
what
yeah.
a fight.
Easy, but yeah.
Slightly better than, well, actually, a good bit better than
Way
the
better.
pig from the last game, where it was just like, here's a glowy spot,
Well, he's
shoot him.
shooting all this dark energy
Now
at you
he's
that you
got-
have to glide through and like get on him and hit his
like
zits.
he
His-
still had glowy spots, but it
Still
was,
had glowy spots, but his attacks actually hit you this
Yeah.
time. His whole serpent body does gloom damage, so you can't just run across his back like with the other dragons. You
I
gotta
tried
jump
'cause-
off, jump on, get right at the zits, and hit him.
because I broke one spot and I was gonna try to run to the other one and I was just like,
No.
oh no, I gotta
Yeah.
eat now.
And then right at the end, oh my god, when you land on his head and it says like final blow or something like that.
Yeah. Like finish it on it. And then it is like a nuclear explosion.
Straight up nuclear explosion.
All the bosses explode when they die, but he's already huge, so it's a way bigger one.
Yeah, was not expecting that big of an explosion.
And then,
but you destroyed a secret stone, which those are apparently like a big old deal. And oh man, it was a very, very cinematically pleasing final battle. Like it was so just cool to experience.
And then Zelda fallen, and then she gets turned back into a human. And you've got to actually dive for her.
Yeah, like, that was
cool. If it was just a cutscene, that would have been disappointing. But it's like doing the music, and it's like, and you're just diving after Zelda. Oh my god! I
meant to ask, did you guys miss her?
No.
Yeah, like when I tried to grab her, I was too slow, and I had to like dive more.
Oh shit!
Because she was falling faster than me.
What happens if you don't catch her? Like,
I don't know.
Just let her fall.
I don't know.
Splat.
The good and is
paradox.
Maybe they land in water no matter what.
Yeah.
It's just such good music too for the catch, and then like you actually, it's zooming in like it's a cutscene, but you have to push A to catch her and all that.
Yeah,
oh
well that's what I missed.
And Link's
like,
arm
I didn't
got
push
healed.
A fast enough. So their hands got too far apart, and I had to dive more.
Yeah, Link's arm got healed, and I would have been upset if I was Link. I'd be like, no, I want it back.
Yeah.
Give it back.
Now he can't make good Zonai devices. He can just do the hobbled together crap all the other people can
Yeah,
do.
but Gloom's dead, so I guess you don't need that anymore. But it was so good.
Tears of the Kingdom has so much going for it. One other quick positive Scotty mentioned earlier, I forgot to put on my list.
I got two other big positives after that.
The music is far superior to Breath of the Wild's. Like, it's very...
So I'm the biggest defender of Breath of the Wild's music out of us three.
So
but
I love Breath of the Wild's music. I don't think it's the greatest for... I don't like the Hyrule Field music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only that music. Like, I want more variety of it. And
Tears
of the Kingdom gave us a good bit of variety, a good bit of, like, bombastic, great, like, huge, like, hype music. Like, the Kogera music, my god, that's, like, one of my favorite Zelda tracks of all time already. Like, that was so cool.
I got two other big positives that I may have hinted at to them, but I don't think I straight up told them. That, like, and this may change in the future, but as of now, this is not only my favorite Zelda game.
Whoa!
This is my favorite game ever made.
Whoa! It beat Ocarina of Time and Chrono Trigger?
As of now, yes. Like that may change when my hype settles down a little. But as of now, like, I can't imagine it being anything else.
Screw Pikmin 4. You need to replay Ocarina and Chrono Trigger and see if you still feel the same.
Well, if they put Chrono Trigger on Switch or something, I would. But goddamn, where you at, Square? Like, I could get a Steam Deck or a computer or whatever.
Or 3DS.
I have that, but I don't want to go back. It's like, it's so uncomfortable compared to the Switch.
Well, you have to play Ocarina of Time at least.
Yeah, it's on Switch. And, like, so I do need to replay those, see if I still feel the same, and let, my hype die down a little. Because it's still so new to see if I feel the same. But as of now, I cannot imagine anything else being in either of those top spots.
That is very surprising, but not shocking.
Yeah, makes sense. Because, like, it's not necessarily the best story Zelda's ever had or the best dungeons that Zelda's ever had or anything like that. But it's so damn good at what it does do. And, like, the dungeons are so good. The bosses are so good. The story is so good. Combined with all the other gameplay features we were talking about and the world building and everything, that just, like, combined into such a good package. It's just my favorite. It's so good. Everything about it. I love it. That's why, like, I had so few negatives, because I legitimately had to, like, rack my brain for, like, these 3 or 4.
Wow.
I love it so much.
And that's going to bring us to the last and final positive of Tears of the Kingdom, is that there are infinite possibilities to experience this game in. That's probably my favorite thing ever any game can ever do, is have infinite possibilities.
Let me get away with my bullshit. If I bullshit enough, let me win it. Let me have it.
Like, Breath of the Wild had infinite possibilities, but, like, we all did, like, the same starting point. Like we did Great Plateau, and then all of us went to Varuta in the Zora region. But Tears of the Kingdom, all three of us did something wildly different.
We did.
Yeah,
Like I went straight to hell, right to the depths. That's all I did for the first 80 hours.
You were down there for like 3 days.
Yeah,
and
literally. Like
I was doing more side shit than them, so I was like, I had a little different context into Zelda acting all weird. I thought it was Zelda's dragon form in human form. And then it ended up being puppet, whatever. But I was like, this is so weird that, like, because Aaron was like, Zelda sounds weird, and Daniel was like, Zelda is weird. And I was like, yeah, Zelda is a little weird, but I don't know why. But Daniel did know why. Yeah. And it was just like such different context for all three of us. It was so funny. It was so cool.
What did you do first?
First thing I did was like beeline it through the memories, because I got to the first one and I loved the way they had it set up so much, and I was like, I gotta see what Zelda's up to, and
yeah, I
did all those,
whatever grabbed
and
me.
Then I did the temples, which I found Riju on accident. I was exploring the desert, and I ran into her, and then started that going, and then. Like, I'm seeing other people's playthroughs, and they find out that Riju's missing or something and have to go find her, and I was just like, oh, I missed that whole part. But that's what's cool about this, is you can miss parts, but it still, like, helps you complete the quest.
Well, I know what Scotty's going to give it, but we like to... The newest thing about the powwows is we like to give every game our own individual score. 1 out of 10. Aaron... What would you give it?
Oh, it's... I would say probably a strong, like, 9.5, maybe.
No 0.5s.
No 0.5s?
Whole numbers only.
Okay.
I don't feel like typing.
I guess a 10 then. I don't know, because I can't give it a 9.
You'd rather round up than down?
Yeah.
So.
Well, shit, I was going to give it a 9.
Because it just... There were...
I'll give it an 11.
There were flaws,
if I can.
but like there were definitely flaws, but I had so much fun, and the fact that all of us did something totally different but ended up enjoying it means that there's so many options in this game that I just can't give it a 9.
Yeah, because honestly, I have 8 negatives here, but none of them really scream dock this a point. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 10. Like, I had so much fun with this game, like... I mean, it's like I said when we started this, like, God, that was a while ago. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a long one.
You knew immediately when you booted up, like, it's credits and it says press start to play or whatever, and you're like, this is game of the year. Like,
yeah, it's just one of those of like, there's this year at Game Awards, to me, well, at least for us, it's going to be like Breath of the Wild. And everything else.
Yeah.
Like that's what it is now.
It is a hard...
Everything else is going to fight for second place.
Yeah. That's so weird to think about. It's just like...
And so far, it's like
Final
Star
Fantasy
Wars.
16's great. Spider-Man 2 is going to be phenomenal.
But Tears of the Kingdom came out this year.
It's going to be second.
Sorry. No. Second place. Can I give it an 11?
No. Can't give it an 11.
Then I give it a 10. But know in my heart that it's at least an 11. Alright? This is seriously like that's all I want to do still. But I'm fighting myself to not play it. And I'm living vicariously through Christy. So that's something. Through my wife Christy, she's playing through it right now. So that's helping a lot. But like that's what I'm saying. If I dive back in, I'm not coming out.
I'll be shocked if you make it through like after Pikmin 4, if you don't go out and buy another copy, just so you can play while your wife is playing, like, I'll be surprised.
I might have to. Like, it's...
Oh, man. But we're going to go ahead and cap this off while it's still under 2 hours.
Yeah.
So, that is what the
we
Bro
can make it 2
Trio
hours
thing.
if we want to keep going.
Honestly, we could.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be hard.
Could.
But we love Zelda. It's one of our best franchises, like, as a whole. Like, it's so good. It's always been good. I really love traditional Zelda, but I am really liking how they're building upon, like, this new open world Zelda
The Switch
so much.
is something, man, because, like, it's got my favorite Smash Brothers. got my favorite Metroid, got my favorite Zelda, got my favorite game ever, which is the same game as what I just said. Like, got my favorite Kirby. So good.
Yeah.
It's such a good system.
Probably about to have your favorite Pikmin.
Probably my favorite Pikmin.
Well, actually, it will have your favorite Pikmin unless it's Hey Pikmin.
I mean,
in case get out, it'll be Bro Duo if you like that.
But God, the Switch is something. Tears of the Kingdom is something. I can't wait to play it again. I'm trying to hold off till there's some DLC or something, but I'm not gonna make it.
Yeah. But if there's some positives we didn't mention in this long ass video, let us know in the comments what you loved about Tears of the Kingdom. Hell, just let us know regardless. Like,
or
I
what
want
you
to see
hated.
it. It's probably gonna get us back into it. Just seeing the comments, I'm just gonna be like, I gotta go finish these side quests and see what's up.
All right. Yeah.
But
I don't know.
that's what the Bro Trio
We're
thinks
changing
about
the
it.
channel. We're changing the channel name to Tears of the Trio. It's all about Tears of the Kingdom now, baby.
Oh my god. But we loved it. Hope y'all loved this video and seeing us gush about one of our favorite games ever. Apparently his favorite game of all time. And we'll catch y'all next time. We are going to do a re-rank of the Zelda franchise soon-ish. We'll see when that comes out. Stay tuned to Bro Trio for more Zelda stuff.